Hi everyone, welcome to week 10 of English 3010. This should be a fairly brief video in which I talk about our plans for the rest of the semester in what I hope will be something that we can do kind of a back and forth and have a dialogue about how we'd like to end our semester together in English 3010, okay? So here's what we're going to talk about today. I have some reminders. I want to just give you guys the due dates for the week. I want to talk about the rest of the semester. And super briefly, I just want to outline for you what the literature review proposal will look like for Project 4 so that we can have a better idea of how we should design the rest of our semester. I don't know if this picture on the left, anyone relates to that, but I feel like we are so close to the end of the semester, but at the same time, I have so many things to do that I don't know that I want the end of the semester to get here yet. So I don't know if anyone relates to that, but I'm certainly feeling that right now. Okay, so reminder, I'm sure you're used to this by now. Please make sure you come to my virtual office hours at least once. This is due by July 24th per the syllabus, so you have fewer than 20 days now to do that. Okay, so please make sure that you stop in and chat with me. It is more beneficial to you to stop in and chat with me before all of your final projects are due so that you can get my feedback, talk to me about how you want to do it, etc. Okay? This is what is due for this week. Today, the 6th, you have the literature review and the introduction template due. Hopefully all my feedback for you all was helpful and you were able to incorporate that and work on really strong literature review. I think for the most part, everyone had a really good start in those rough drafts, so I look forward to reading your final drafts after today. On Friday, the 10th, you have your final reading response due, yay. And then on Sunday, you have just your typical weekly journal. This is the second to last one, so again, yay, super exciting that we are wrapping up and we're getting to these last assignments, okay? All right, so, well, this isn't as cute with all of my Zoom stuff on it, but I just wanted to check in and kind of just have a, I don't know what you call it, a heart-to-heart, I guess, although it's a little difficult to do on video, but I have the feeling that a lot of people are feeling very overwhelmed by the course, by just the status of everything that's happening right now, and it's exhausting to be trying to do academic work, and I see this in my own work as I struggle to keep on top of my own research. I see that in just the the amount of students who are not turning work in or turning work in late, and this isn't my way of like shaming you or guilt tripping you, but rather just to say that I see you and I understand how hard this can be, and I think you should all be really proud of yourself for taking an online class during such a tumultuous time, and you should all recognize that you've been doing good work even if you feel perhaps it's not up to your standards or what you'd like to be doing. Doing anything at all right now is impressive and you should feel accomplished and proud of yourself for that, okay? So that's my like pep talk, I guess. But I also wanted to use this opportunity and this time in the class now that we have for the most part completed our major projects once you turn in the literature review. And now we're kind of on like the downward slope of the class where we can play a little bit more with what our expectations are, okay? So this is an opportunity, or I want this to be an opportunity for you to all respond and let me know how you are personally feeling, what you would like to see out of the rest of the class, and how I can help you meet your goals, etc. Okay, so I want to kind of like pause that feel good check-in moment and give you a brief rundown of like what the literature review proposal, Project 4, looks like, so that when I talk about some potential options for what I see we can do with the class, you'll feel perhaps more educated or prepared to make a decision, okay? So Project 4 is just a proposal version of your literature review. So typically these things go together, right? We talked about how it's a little different in this class, how we split them apart, but the proposal is essentially what you see as being the problem or the solution to the problem that you've identified in project 3. So in project 3, right, you've outlined all this literature, you've compiled all these different opinions, these expert opinions on a topic or a problem or question. And then project 4 is going to be your attempt to solve that problem. So in this project, you don't actually have to do it. So it's not that if you propose, we implement, I don't know, I'm trying to think of one of the topics of your literature review off the top of my head, and of course I'm blanking. But it's not that you are proposing, or it's not that you will actually have to go out and figure out how to make, I don't know, urban planning more accessible and less gentrified by, you know, the end of our semester. I don't expect anyone to do that. Instead, your proposal is just saying, based off of all this literature that I've accumulated, based off my own experiences, my own knowledge, and my own expertise in my discourse community, here is a solution that I think might solve this problem or part of this problem, right? Some of your problems are so big that you couldn't possibly solve it in just one easy little proposal. But your proposal is an attempt to do that, okay? So the main requirements of the proposal are that it has to be somewhat realistic. You can't say that, you know, you have a solution to curing cancer in your 2 to 3 page proposal, right? It must be something that you could actually see being implemented or being tried at least. So nothing like too grandiose, right? We're not going to overthrow the entire government based off of your proposal, okay? But something that is actually feasible or that you could do. So a good thing about this is that this proposal might lead you in your other classes, in your discourse community, it might lead you to be like, hey, this is actually something that I could do or that I could attempt to create some of this change, right? So it's a good starting point for the rest of your courses in your discourse community, okay? So that's what project 4 is all about. It's really not a difficult project. For the most part, it is, as long as you meet the requirements of the project, as in like you submit it and you have the appropriate page length, you should get full credit, right? Unless you completely just smash on your keyboard random words. It's not a terribly difficult project. So that is what I'm expecting out of project 4, okay? But now to kind of take that knowledge and turn that into, again, a check-in about how you're all doing, I've come up with like some ideas for how we can finish this course to meet the needs of as many students as I can. So these are the options I see. Obviously, I think there's more, but that's where you guys come in. So I think we could continue as normal. We could do the rest of the syllabus, the rest of the projects. It's not that much after this week. You have, let's see, you have a draft due, you have project 4, and then you have a final weekly journal, and then you have the optional project 5 reflection. So we could do that. We could continue as normal, but drop the draft requirement for project 4. If you think we don't need to submit a draft, I just want to work on my proposal and not have to worry about another deadline, we could do that. Project 4 could become like a choose your own adventure. So in that case, I kind of see it as being, you could do a proposal if you wanted, but you could also do any number of things that kind of fit the parameters of the assignment or the course goals. So for example, I talked to another instructor who in the past said that some students wrote letters to their congressman, their senator, a local politician, whatever. And in writing that, they were able to still use the research or the course objectives of writing, reading, researching, and reflecting. So you could do something like that. There's a lot of different ways you could go with it. So it would be kind of up to each individual student. It wouldn't be like we all as a class have to, you know, write a letter to a politician. But if you want to use this opportunity as kind of like, I don't know, double dipping where it meets the project requirements for me, so you get your points, but also you might see it as you're able to make actual change by doing something that feels more meaningful than just submitting an assignment. I'm all for that. And then fourthly, other alternatives. So I'm open to any suggestions that you all have. This will be a part of your weekly journal, so I should be able to kind of, I'm hoping, get some good answers from a lot of you, and we can see what you all think, if you have any other suggestions for how the course can finish up. Okay, so think about this. There's not really much to lecture on in terms of the proposal. You will be looking at some readings about that for the final reading response this week. But other than that, I hope that, although you have 3 things due this week, after you turn your literature review in, it should be, you should be able to breathe a breath of fresh air after that. So I hope that you can take some time, think about how you're doing in the course, how you'd like to see us finish, what takes the most stress, and what takes the least amount of mental energy from you in terms of how to finish up this course, okay? I hope you all have a wonderful week. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I will talk to you all later, okay? Bye-bye.